Oh my goodness. Happy Easter, my friends. Sunday here in the US. It's 6:01 my time here in Los Angeles. Look at my face. Oh, got a little sun today. I was driving around with my top down on my car, trying to find a place to have a picnic, and LA has gone crazy and everyone is out and there was no place to have a picnic. In fact, we went to a friend of mine and we went to Griffith Park and they had the whole park thing shut down. Couldn't even get in it. But that's okay. You know what? We ended up eating a nice little lunch in the back here and it was just lovely. I don't think I'm ready for crowds yet. So it was fine. But I hope you had a wonderful day if you celebrate Easter. I know I've got many friends who do, and they had lovely dinners and lunches and beautiful, grandkids and kids and no kids. And it was all great. Wonderful. So glad you're here. Hope you had a great day wherever you are on the West Coast. It was just beautiful today. Hey, I want to talk to you about the power of belief. And specifically, I want to talk to you, and I can't recommend this book enough. I'm only in chapter 6, but this book right here, How to Do the Work by Nicole LePera. And she is a Instagram sensation. She's called the Holistic Psychologist. If you don't know her, go find her. And I've read a lot of self-help books, personal development books, and I love what she covers. She covers mind, body, and spirit. And she really starts in an important place because she starts with the body. And if you do any work with clients or you're a coach, you are trauma informed at all, you know that trauma is held in our body. Oh, there's my dog. Hi, honey. And so she starts in that area and understanding that no matter what kind of changes we want to do, if we're in a trauma state, it doesn't matter. We're not going to be able to do those things. So first we have to learn how to settle our systems, how to come out of that elongated state of fight or flight that many of us are finding ourselves in, and we're not even aware of it. And so if we're finding ourselves in that state of agitation and we're getting angry really quick and we're snappy, well, to make changes, we can't do it from that place. We have to be able to find ways to settle our system. So she covers quite a bit on how to settle our system, things that were also covered with the Nagoski sisters in the book Burnout. Like, how do we come down and deregulate ourselves? Come into either a place of calm or back into our growth zone is where we really want to be. Anyway, that's all great. And I think it's super important. And once we get there, however, that's when we can cycle in and out of our core beliefs. And she said it, Nicole LePera said it so clearly, probably more clearly than I had ever heard anyone else say this, that our core beliefs are nothing more than repetitive thoughts. I mean, right? And those repetitive thoughts that probably came to us in childhood, they were created out of experiences, and now we continue to carry them on even if they no longer serve us, right? Or we experienced our world as a child and we witnessed things as child, but because we did not have the logic or ability to comprehend outside of our egocentric world as children, everything is about us, right? Especially around a certain age. And so when things happen, someone doesn't answer us, they don't pick us up. My mom was terrible. I love her dearly, but she was not great at picking me up after school. I would often be the last child left. I would often one for hours, and my mom would have just fallen asleep or just couldn't come get me. And so you can imagine the story I tell myself about that, of being unwanted, unlovable, all that stuff. But the core beliefs that we have are really built on those experiences. We have a ton of other data we could pull from, but we don't, because these repetitive thoughts come up. And this is one of the things that I think is super important for us to know, is you can change your core beliefs, but you've got to know how, And it's not easy because for me, they've had literally decades of building up. And now I need to, spend some time recalibrating my thoughts. And part of it is, can I catch those thoughts when they come up? And can I change it? And it really becomes from a place of how can I actively start kind of implanting new thoughts? And so when I journal, I have pages, literally pages of writing, just line after line after line. I am worthy. I am enough. I am enough. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am enough. Just repetitive on the page. Someone would probably pick up that thing and go, what is wrong with it? But I knew that I had to not only think it, but I had to get it into my body through the handwriting process. And the more I could repeat that, the more that just became the natural state. Now, it still creeps in for sure. I just had a go live last week around how that, the unworthiness can creep in, but it certainly doesn't creep in nearly as much as it used to. And I know that the large part of that is because it is shifting, right? That worthiness and that enoughness is totally shifting. If you're here watching, put in the chat box, what is one of your core beliefs that isn't serving you right now that you'd really like to change? So if you're listening and if you have a core belief, what is one of yours that really isn't serving you? You'd love to change it. What might that be? I used to have one too, especially around fitness, that I'm too old to do a lot of the difficult things. And doing CrossFit for three or 4 years helped me adjust that. Now, did I love it? Did I love being in pain all the time? That I didn't love. But I recognize, I can do hard things. I can do hard things in the gym for sure. So today is talking about that idea of how do we change these core beliefs. What I would love anyone who gets an opportunity to witness or hear this is to know that your beliefs are nothing more than repetitive thoughts. And so if you would like to change your core beliefs, especially those ones that aren't serving you anymore, like I'm not enough, who am I to do anything, that you can bring to mind, right? Yeah, I get it, Juliana. Juliana is saying, I'm not good enough. I'm not doing enough. So that's the core. And as an outside observer of you, Juliana, I know I could see a different perspective. So one of the things that we just have to get better at is catching that and then correcting it. I am enough. And it could be simply as taking what the belief is that isn't serving you and flipping it on its other side to say, I am enough. I am doing enough. I'm doing exactly as much as I need to right now. I'm doing enough. I'm doing enough. And you can imagine how that in your mind, you can feel some real resistance around that because your mind has had years of repetitive thoughts around I'm not enough or I'm not doing enough. So the moment we try and actively put in a new thought, your mind's going to go, that's not true. That's a bunch of BS. Who are you to say this? This is right. And so you can observe all that. That's the great thing. That's not you. Isn't that the amazing thing is you can absolutely just observe that and accept it as part of you as well. And you say, well, I am going to turn this thought around. I am enough. I'm totally enough. I'm worthy. I'm willing to do this work so that I am enough. And I think it's really important for us to know that everything in our mind and in our brain, this is the great thing, certainly of neuroplasticity, right? That we can change. But I think it's even more important. Yeah, for sure. Is powerful, isn't it? Thank you so much, Juliana. She says, recognizing it sure is powerful. But in addition to that, I think one of the critical things is understanding that you're malleable, that you do change. You are definitely not the same, any of us. I'm not the same person I was when I was 15 or when I was 20 or 25 or 30. I'm just not. I have different ways of thinking and different ways of believing. I have learned new information that has altered my thoughts and my beliefs about certain things. All of this is malleable. And yet I can't tell you how often I talk to people who will say, yeah, but this thing is for real. Certainly I can change everything else, but this thing that makes me feel smaller, that makes me feel unlovable, unworthy, this thing is for real. And what I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart is, it is not. It is totally changeable. You are enough. You are worthy. You are lovable. All of that stuff is true too. So if we can implant those thoughts and make those more repetitive, and it's a practice, right? And so one of the things about this book, and I was talking about this book right here, How to Do the Work by Dr. Nicole LePera, is the realization that this is lifelong work. We've been programmed for our entire life, and now we have to deprogram or reprogram our mind in a way that feels more powerful to us, so that we are not beholden to other people's thoughts that were implanted into us. Those beliefs aren't ours. Let's put our own belief into our minds about who we are, what we're capable of, and what we believe about ourselves. Powerful stuff, my friends. So if you're listening, here is your challenge. Tonight's challenge is just to start recognizing what is a belief that is keeping you small, limited, maybe not stepping into your full power. And I want you to flip it on its ear. And what would be a more powerful belief for you to have? Even if you can't quite believe it quite yet, the only thing I'm going to ask you to do is start, like with a mantra, of just saying, I am enough, I am enough. Just saying it, right? To let that to be a repetitive thought for you, so that you can begin to rewire a new belief. And that's how it starts. And so, my friends, I am definitely doing that work. You can see my journals; they're filled with it, and I really can feel a difference in that. I feel much less anxiousness around worthiness or my own value. And so it's for us to do the work when it comes to that. Hey, it's Sunday night. It's Easter. Thank you for stopping by. Of course, this will go on my YouTube channel. It'll go on Instagram Live TV as well. I'm sure there'll be a blog about this coming out soon. I'm so glad you were here. Thank you much. Thank you so much for spending part of your evening with me. And I'll see you, or your morning. Right, Juliana? All right, my friends. Have a great day.